So hello, how guys, how girls? Yep, please look here. We got a. Can everybody see Victory here? Probably not sitting down. We should stand up because on the back people some can. I don't think they can see us. All right, let's move this. All right. Victory, how did we meet? Do you remember?
I think it was over the LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yeah, we connected there, and then you invite me to participate in a podcast.
No.
No,
Wrong.
For drinking. Drinking?
No. The first meeting we had we had a coffee at the Pacific Place. At that time, you're doing fundraising.
Right.
I was kind of a VC. I invested to different companies, and you asked me for advice and whether I'll be interested to invest to your company. So that was the first coffee we had at the Starbucks at the Pacific Coffee. Okay. Honestly, I do meet a lot of friends from internet, from LinkedIn. It's like last one, remember CY from the government? I met him through LinkedIn. So this is why I asked you guys should have a LinkedIn in Hong Kong. How many of you have a LinkedIn now? Can you raise your hand? Very good. You know what? 2 days ago, I went to the HRO class. Only 5 people had a LinkedIn account, and they are all headhunter before they join school, so they use it. But you guys, please try to get one, and it's very useful. Okay, so at that time, what did I tell you? Do you remember?
Difficult.
Okay, I'm very, very rude to you. I was very rude. I said your project, your idea does not work. At that time, we call ourselves as parking B&B.
Right.
Can you tell us what that project was and what the idea was?
Right. So the project we started like back to 2019 was about to basically match drivers on the road with the car parks because we could track the real-time availability. So it's like more like an Uber for parking. So
you guys heard of Airbnb, right? You know the business model of Airbnb. You have a house, you don't use it, you don't. When you are traveling, you have an empty house, you can rent it out, right? Same as car park, parking B&B, totally same project, same idea. And then I told him it doesn't work in Hong Kong. Why? Anyone can tell me why? Why, if you have a car park in Hong Kong, when you go to work, you drive to work, and then that car park empty for 6 hours, 8 hours, right? It makes sense to rent it out, isn't it? But why it doesn't work in Hong Kong? Anyone can tell me, please raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, I will point. You choose. Okay. Gentleman over there with the blue shirt, blue t-shirt. Sorry, it's you. Why? Why it doesn't work?
Budget is too high.
No, nothing to do with the money. No, our system is very smart, can precisely choose when and where to take the car park easily. Yeah. Anyone idea? Yes.
Yeah. I have a guess that all the car park are privately owned and you are not allowed to rent again to other people.
Yes or no? Not the right question. Very close. Okay, the answer is all the private car park in the building needs an octopus to go into the building. So if I'm a visitor, how can I get into the private car park? Do I walk up the slope and then turn, go up and get the car park? It's stupid, isn't it? So it's very difficult to get it done if most of the car park are owned privately, and very difficult to get into the building. Even you parked your car inside, you cannot get out of building because you need octopus to get out again, right? So this is why I told him not very feasible and possible to be done. And then after a couple of years, we become friends. We don't talk about business anymore. We go parties, we go networking, we go to a lot of startup events, meeting different peoples. So this guy is amazing. Every time I go to an event, I told people that I know a Russian he's doing car park. I say, of course I know that guy. He's popular. He has been very, very hardworking to socialize and get connected with the investors. Very important. Most of the property tech company and investor knows him. Now, almost 3 to 4 years. The reason why I know, we had dinner with CLPE last night, GM. Do you know what is CLPE? Anyone heard of it? This is the company provide electricity, China Light Power. Is the EV charger department. They actually install all the electronic vehicle charger in Hong Kong right now. So that guy is a very good friend of us. We know each other for 5 years. And he told me that, actually, when I started to work with him, my job is going to be a partnership manager kind of things, and also deal with the investor. And then my friend Cliff told me that you don't have to worry. Everybody knows him for years. And then I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you about how he changed the business model. So you got stuck, right, at that time? What happened? How you change and think of an alternative way to get the business going there?
Yeah, basically, so as the parking B&B, the name emerged from the Airbnb model for parking. And basically, there is a largest company in the United States, started like around 2006, and they burn like hundreds of millions of US dollars and never made it to be like Airbnb or Uber. So then we started to think like, what are actually the problems? So the problems with the parking booking is, one is the access. Second one, even if it's not like residential building, it can be a shopping mall with the booking system. It can be the office. But imagine like you book a parking space and then you use like Google Maps, then there is a traffic. So you will not make it on time. And you either already prepay or going to pay some sort of fee in advance. So second problem is like when you need to do the access control, you need to connect the octopus or QR code or just show to the security guard, oh, I have the like electronic access. And then there is a new employee coming out and you show him your phone and he was like, I have no idea, what are you showing me?
Exactly.
And then you completely stuck at the entrance of the car park and cannot go in. Then the third problem is like you coming in there and your parking space is occupied by another car and you have no idea what to do. You start to calling to the customer service and it's a hell. So basically we understood that in comparison with the booking system, like you book the hotel, you care about the location, you care about the interior, you care like what facilities it has. Similar to the Airbnb, right? So like sleeping in a car versus sleeping in a 3-bedroom flat is a complete difference. For parking, you just need a parking space. Of course, the best idea, like the best kind of case, it's like closest and cheapest location to the destination you go. So parking is a commodity, and building the business with this kind of perspective made us to think of rather the Uber model for parking than Airbnb. So it's like real-time matching of the drivers on the road with the parking spaces online. For example, you're driving, we give you the closest and cheapest parking suggestion in the area. So we estimate you will come there like in 20 minutes. Then traffic situation happen or car park got occupied. We automatically will reallocate you to another closest like parking facility. So of course, this is the ideal case and it requires like a big coverage of the market. And that's what we like doing step by step over like the last 4 years.
So we actually changed it from share economy. You heard of that terms, right? Share economies model to become real-time data sharing model to bring in the value to the clients of going to the car parks that is most convenient and cheapest for them. So that makes our idea of doing B2C. Previously, we find owners of the car park to work with us. Then we become B2B. So we work with car parks. Much bigger turnover, much easier, less clients, and we can provide much better service and more focus. So this is also for a startup. For a company at that time, you only have like 4 people, 3 people. How can you deal with so many, individual car park owners? It's impossible. So it never works. So eventually, in Hong Kong, property developers are less than 100 of them. So 3 people can handle that easily. Okay. So when you do a business model, you always stuck. You always make mistakes. Then you have to change. You have to think. Over the years, he find that the real-time one is valuable, and then how can you bring it in real time? Then we go into another business. Is the recognition part. Maybe you can share how we do that. Do we have a PowerPoint for that?
I don't think so. Maybe you have like a couple of slides. Yeah. So
Okay.
this is a kind
Very
of a
good.
hint. So basically, to get the real-time data, you need some sort of a source. For example, like Hong Kong government have the Open Data Initiative, and they released the API that you can connect and get the real-time data availability on certain car parks. This is a one source of the data. Second source, we sign direct agreement with the property owners.
Yep.
So they sharing the data with us. And the third type is like to handle it ourselves. So basically, one of the easiest thing is to count cars in and out.
Yes.
So car in -1 space, car out +1 space. And basically, if we talk about the sensors, they like basically track for some motion. So you can like walk by or have another object that sensor will identify, and then the occupancy will collapse.
Yep.
So in our case, we started with the computer vision. So we put the camera at the entrance, camera at the exit. So we started recognition of the number plate, car type, color, and the make, like the model of it. So then we can track the occupancy. When we released this feature, we also added the payment. So because when you enter the car park, we can count how much time you spend in there. So we can understand how much we need to charge. And because we can recognize the vehicle type, so we can charge based on like you're driving a private car, you're driving a motorcycle, or the truck,
a van,
and
commercial vehicle.
Yeah. So we connected it as a mobile payment, and then we realized that we use a CarPlay number similar to a credit card number as a like identifier for the payment. So, and then we understood like, why don't we actually collect payments from other services in the location?
Yep.
So once you come to the shopping mall or once you come to the area, everywhere you can track like utilization of your services. So then we can digitalize it into the app payment.
Yep.
So we first started the parking, then EV charging, then the car services, and recently connected even like shops and restaurants. So you can just drive out and pay for everything. Similar like McDonald's, right? You have like a drive in, drive out.
Yep.
Kind of this payment method. Yeah.
I think many of you saw it in your country or in China, right? But did you ever use that software to pay for other things? Probably not. Because in China, there's a different situation. Most of the payment connected to your digital wallets, like Alipay or WeChat Pay, in Hong Kong, still not very popular. I would say most of the people has that, but still more than 80% of the people using auto pay. Sorry, what's it called? Octopus. Yeah. So you use it for MTR most of the time. Octopus, the payment system, do not work very well online. So we are still trying to catch up with the digital payment. So we become the aggregator. Anyone know what's aggregator? So we become the middle software to connect all the payments together. Okay. Does anyone have any question about our model yet? Our business model yet? Yes, sir. Really? Can you invest us? We are looking for investor. We are looking for investor. Do you want to invest us?
I want to ask you, my company do the same thing in Shanghai 5 years ago.
Okay.
I want to talk about with you, what is your income in the whole sequence? What's your customer? And where do you get income from which sequence?
Sure, no problem. Okay, please. Thank you very much. So let's work together, shall we? Okay. Now we have the technology of the visual recognition, right? You know what's visual recognition? The cameras. We are able to control the gate. Our clients, who is our client? Who is our client? The parking owners, the car park owners is our clients. They will buy our equipment, buy our visionary system. But also, car owners are our client as well. We have two models. One, we sell our equipment to the car parks. Secondly, we do sharing, actually. We do income sharing. So we charge the car owners, they pay to us first, and then we pay back to the car park owners. So we actually help them to equip the equipment, we pay for the equipment. We actually enhance their operations. So this is our income at the moment. But you're right, not enough. Certainly not enough. Then what can we do? Think about it. Anyone can give me a suggestion? Far East, Mr. Is anyone from the back would like to give me some answers? Okay. Have you guys heard of vertical integration and horizontal integration? Do you know what is this? Okay. Vertical integration means when I sell a burger, and if I make a burger, then I sell drinks. I sell other products on the top or down, or I teach you how to make burgers. It's vertical. So the whole flow, I sell the top levels or lower levels. That is vertical integration. Then we have to think about it. Horizontal, we sell different type of burgers: beef, chicken, vegetable, fish. Horizontal, right? So now you know what is horizontal and vertical. Give me some suggestion. Give me some ideas. Now I only sell this product. What can you do? Give me more income. Anyone? Be creative. Tell me, please. Yes.
Things like that. So if you want to get the latest data, you can say that if you are subscription users, you can get the data earlier than the non-subscription users.
Interesting. Good idea.
So it's like you are paying for the information that you have if you want to get a link.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Reservation.
Yeah.
Very much like. Yeah, we do have reservation ideas too. If you are our members, you can pay first, and then reserve the car park for us. This is what's happening in EV charging. Most of the EV car park now, a lot of people illegally park their car there, even if they are not a EV. They just block it. They just use it. They don't care. Now we have a locker on the floor. So if you reserved it or if you don't pay, you cannot drive the car inside. So if you're a member, you can subscribe. Then you can get a guaranteed income, guaranteed car park. But there is a problem. I told Victory a few days ago. What's the problem? You have a lock on the floor already. That space is locked. What's the problem? What do you think? No, the car park itself, you book as a driver, you book wherever you want to go. That car park, that the EV charging, you booked. That's okay.
Since car park is a commodity, it's like we don't care that much about the position. Just the need one position.
Yeah, well,
Great.
true, but we are talking about EV charging, not just parking. EV charging, you need a place to charge. You want to guarantee there's a place to charge, because if you don't charge, your car will die, right? So we have to guarantee there's somewhere to charge. The problem in Hong Kong is the roads are very tight. If the car park is already full, everybody lining up outside of the car park. Even you book, you still cannot drive into the car park. That's the problem. Is that right? So how do we fix it? We have to also think about the road design. So this is why I brought in a traffic engineer to the company this month to help us to re-engine the road, actually, for the car park. So not that easy. Even we have the tech, then we have social problem, right? So there's another suggestion. Okay, then we come to a problem. 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago, we got sued.
Oh,
We got sued by a huge company. Share the experience.
yeah. I mean, like we started as a parking B&B app, so it is a native app available in Android and Apple Store.
Yeah.
So and Huawei Gallery.
Yep.
And basically, there are also a couple of different apps.
Yep.
And some of the apps also have like parking information from like largest property owners.
Yes.
And basically everyone wants the traffic to go through their apps.
Yep.
And capture the visitors to their buildings.
Yep.
So when we started to get traffic on our app, some of the like other app owners, big players, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And
because we become very popular in Hong Kong at that time.
yeah. So yeah, of course, like one of the solutions for them to get back their
Clients.
Yeah, get back their like key position on the market is to shut down another potential competitor.
To solve us using their data, actually.
Yeah. So they came up with some allegation. I mean, like it's just their practice how to win the market. Like nobody cares. It's a business, right?
Yeah.
So there is nothing personal. So yeah. Anyway, like we had to hire like a legal company to protect our interest, and we then close up this allegation, mediate, and we negotiated the deal to be closed. So.
The problem was at that time was actually everybody giving data, your car park giving data to government. So we get the data from the government, but they actually claims the data belong to them, even through the government. Is that fair? Absolutely not. When you pass it to government, it should be the government things, right? But they don't care. Big players want to kill you, even you because you are small, or sell it to them. This is what they want, right? They always do that. But luckily that, they know the suit wasn't very strong. So they decided to drop the case, then everything's go on. And we also find that this is not something very valuable to the company, actually. Why do we have to fight for that? So we move on to car park system, concentrated focus in that. Okay. So what happened after a couple of years? How do we expand to now?
Yeah, basically, actually, before we try to push our brand, so we have like a mobile app, we help drivers to find the optimal parking, they can connect their payment system, we put some coupons from different clients, and we go to every property owner and say, we have a cool app, we can bring you some traffic, and you earn more money. So some of them say yes, some of them say no, and basically, back in 2022.
Yep.
So we went to the CES exhibition in Las Vegas. is like a consumer electronic
The
show.
largest electronic show in the world.
Yes.
In Las Vegas.
And then a client like in the States, like from Florida, came up to us and say like, oh guys, we want your system, and we want you to create some sort of like the app for us, putting our logo, and then we can pay for that. So we started to think what we do, like, oh, should we program the app from scratch, put it in Google Play, put it in Apple Store, or we can just create a web page that is responsive to use from the mobile phone, and that what is called the web app.
Yeah.
So we created the web app, basically not publishing any application into the store. And how you can access the app is just by scanning the QR code. So we released our first web app for our client in the United States, and we decided to bring that model into the Hong Kong market. So when we started to talk with the property owners, we say like, oh, forget about the native app, like Parking B&B, whatever. We give you the web app with your branding, with your like shop logo. We put your promotion and basically treat it as your own app. But we keep the same database under us. So basically is a copy of the native application in a web with changed colors and the logos, and that's what we actually switched to and started to get much more of the clients.
Yes.
And the shopping mall app utilization is actually on average is less than 10%, because everyone has a lot of apps on their phone. And when you try to download the shopping mall app of like any developer in Hong Kong, you have like 4 pages of information you need to provide. Your name, surname, address, your Hong Kong ID, your mom, your dad, your dog name, and like where do you live, what do you do, and all this information with the mark required. So a lot of people either give up on that, or they put the information but they don't want to utilize the app. Every time you need to click, you need to find that app. They also introduce different point system. You need to follow a couple of shopping malls for the promotion. So it's very unuser friendly. Yeah, user unfriendly.
Exactly.
So that's why like we came up with the idea like, let's just aggregate everything on the web. And like a couple of months ago, Apple updated their system so you can have notification from your web browser. So which means the web app became another version of the native app, completely no difference.
Okay. Can I ask any one of you do have a programming skill? Anyone can do programming here?
No.
Do you know how difficult to maintain an app on Google and Apple? They use totally different language. Even nowadays, one language can do both, but still very difficult to update. Secondly, on the Google Store, Apple Store, they have lots of regulations. They restrict you a lot. Previously, Apple do not allow you to track the locations. We are a car park system. We cannot track location. How can we do our work, right? We got stuck, right? Lucky that the H5, you guys call HW, the HTML5 technology improved a lot. So this is actually how we improve our apps into the web app. This is what you do. You use on the WeChat, this little program,
H5 programs, similar stuff in Hong Kong, in the global markets.
So what he just told us that is doing tech business, is it good? I think when you started a new business, you always think of new technology. New technology always bring you more money, more value, right? Better model, supposed to be. But what's the downside? Downside is you need lots of money to invest in technology. But where does it come from? Russian is good at what? Programming. Cheap labor. In programming, they are very good. You know, they're extremely good in programming. So When you do a business, you also have to think of what? Your absolute advantage comparatively in the market. So you need to be better, cheaper, easier, faster than anyone in the market. So this is why they can change, turn around quickly. Why he become the third? I think we are the third largest or maybe fourth largest car park service provider in Hong Kong right now. But how can a small company like us become the third or fourth in 5 years? Those big players, it has been in Hong Kong for over 40 years. Huge. Those one are global company, but they're still chasing our tails. Actually, only one. We are flexible. We are very flexible. The web app itself can do all the rebranding, just we told you. We get all the customization. We're happy to adopt any API. You know what is API, right? So that means that system can connect to us easily. Previously, he said the shopping apps. Do you know in Hong Kong, all the shopping malls, they have their own shopping mall apps? Have you ever used it? What do you use? Why you use not shopping apps? No. Shopping mall like Element, they also have their apps. But I can tell you that no one really use it. Never use it. Useless, actually. But they all wanted to have one. Why? They want to promote their shops, their activities, and even membership. Most important part is membership. But they don't do very good jobs, actually. None of them. Okay? So how can we bring in the value to their apps? Think about it. Why? Anyone can tell me? Why car park are linked to the membership system? What is the value? Now we talk about value. When we sell product, we must bring value to the customer. Then they pay us, right? Okay. Think about it. Yes. Okay.
In my opinion, maybe because the people who drive cars are most have money than those who don't have money. That's the first point. And the second point is, if you travel around Hong Kong and you are trying to buy something, there's a lot of chain shop in different shopping mall.
Yes.
So if the shopping mall you are going to visit have empty space for your car, you will definitely go there instead of waiting for the layout for the car park slots in other shopping malls.
Very good. Grade A. Give him a great. Give him an A, please. Very good. Yes. You want to say something? Why not? Just kidding. Okay. First of all, we discussed it a lot. How to bring in the value to the shopping mall because they are our clients. The clients want to use our system not just to open door. Open and engage is hopeless. Everybody can do it. And they recognize the number plate. Everybody can do it after a few years. Even if we are the first, we are the best in Hong Kong a couple years ago, now everybody can do it. Then what next? Most important part is people who drive spend more in the shopping mall. They are willing to spend more. They are more loyal if you have a good car park and you have good service in the car park. You feel more comfortable. So if your car park has an EV charger there, I go there more. If you have a EV supercharger like Tesla, like me, I drive a Tesla. I always go to Element because they have 12 supercharger there. So I will come here more often and spend more. So this is how we're going to do the vertical integration. We started to work with EV chargers. When they install our car park system, we sell the solution of the EV charger as well. Many of the shopping malls do not have EV charger. So they started to install. Then they can come to us as well. Secondly, the car park management. Do you know what's smart lighting? The car park itself is always idle. People drive in and out, but you need to have the lighting 24 hours on. Am I right? To make sure the security is good. but it spends lots of money on electricity. So we can also provide the smart lighting. When people do not come in or that area idle, we dim 30% of the light, save 30% of the electricity at that area. When people walk in, sensors come in, lights come up. That is another service we can provide, vertical integration. All right? It's a vertical integration or horizontal? It's also horizontal, I would say. Yeah. So vertical integration should be, sorry, it was horizontal, sorry. Vertical integration is just like you said. When you go to a shopping mall in China or in other country, do you get free parking if you spend in a shopping mall? Yes, that's right. How do you get that?
Spending over amount, like maybe 3,000 or 500 certain amount.
You still have to bring the receipt to the concierge. Hey, lady, please chop and get a free parking coupon for me. That's very stupid, isn't it? You know, I want to leave. I have all the whole bags with me. Why I have to carry everything to the concierge? And the shopping mall is so big. I will walk like 500 meters to get the free copy. Right? So it's actually a totally opposite. Yes, lady. Yes, that is not popular in Hong Kong, and this is what we are doing now. It's the OCR, the recognitions. Tell us a bit more about this, sir.
Yeah, I mean, like just like you said, you in the app, when you enter the car park, you have a parking session. Then you just click the button like apply the discount, and then you can scan with your phone camera multiple receipts, and then we automatically calculate through the recognition what kind of shop you go, what time, how much you spend, and we summarize the total sum from multiple receipts, and then automatically our system know how much we should charge you when you leave the car park. So instead of like collecting receipts and queue up to the customer service, just scan all of them on the way, pick up your car and leave. And our system know how much to charge. We will recognize your car, open the gate automatically and charge you the amount you like have a parking minus the discount you apply from the shops. So
yeah. Is it smart? No, not smart enough. From this process, what does the shopping mall get? Two things: how much you spent and what you bought. Do you know the shopping mall do not know people what they buy from the shop, because the shop do not disclose to the shopping mall, right? Shopping mall never know what the customer really wants, actually. They only know where they walk from the cameras, that's all. But they don't know how much they spend. But through our system, now they know. A real CRM come up, a huge, much bigger margin of value comes in, right? So this is how we do business, how we bring extra value, something you can never do, applying technology, then you can do. So I know I'm a bit long air, right? Talk a bit longer, 5 more minutes, okay. So one more question. Do you know why this system become popular? All of the sudden, he become rich. No, not rich. Become people wanted to, you know, buy his stuff. All of a sudden, there's one factors of doing business you should consider. It's the timing. COVID came, no one want to touch anything. So the recognition of the number plates becomes a solution. You don't need to touch. Touchless. You come in touchless, came out touchless. So this is why he caught the right timing, go into the market. So always think of timing first when you do business. All right? Okay.
no one coughing on you at your receipts.
Scary, right? Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I think maybe just give some quick information. If you consider to start your own company,
yep.
Yeah, you need to think about it. 100 times. Yeah, because you always have a choice to go to join like a big company, get a stable job. So I went through that, right? So I work in the big corporations for a couple of years in IT and financial industry. But like for myself, I had a limited ability to learn. And you always like, you have the bosses, you need to report, you need to adjust to the environment, you need to adjust to the task you make. And there is a lot of bureaucracy. For example, like I was working in a Japanese bank, you need to print all the document, you have your personal shop, you need to bow, you need to run. If your boss is calling you, you need to run. Otherwise, it's not, you don't show, you don't show like a big commitment. When you start your own company, you can think, oh, cool, it's a freedom. I do whatever I want. I'm the owner of the business. So I go talk with who I want. I work when I want. But actually, you're still working for someone. So you're still working for the investors. You still have a responsibility in front of your employees. You need to pay salaries. You need to support them. Everyone has different, like, even emotional level. So you need to catch up with anyone. And like, for example, you have a job offer, company ABC Limited, or I don't know, like Google or Microsoft. Where do you go? Probably Google or Microsoft, right? So not many people initially want to join your company because they don't know anything. So you need to come up with some incentive. It's either a salary or the stock of the company or any types of bonus. And some companies, they use like fancy offices with like free beer and other things just to attract the people. And the environment like in Asia is different than environment like in America, right? In the States, like everyone pretty know about the startups and the environment because they have the education pushed at universities already about venture capital, about the startups. So to cut story short, doing business is not that easy, and you have a lot of responsibilities. You need to be ready that you will not going to sleep. You need to be ready. You will not be able to build another Instagram because it's like 0.0001% opportunity. Right time, right tech, right people, right connection, good amount of money is very difficult to get all together. That's why the like it's very rare to do the business like Instagram. So average amount of years to be like a unicorn company is like very successful company, US like 1 billion plus US dollar worth, then you can be super rich. But it takes 10 years to build a company to reach that level. So if you are ready for 10 years of a roller coaster with no sleep
for 10 years,
with courts, with like all the criminal things that others try to put you in, because people doing a business, they accept the risk, which means they accept the risk doing some other stuff that might be not legal, and these are the people that going to be around you.
Gray area.
No. Yeah, gray area.
It's just like Uber is illegal in Hong Kong, but it's still running. So
yeah, so basically working for a big company, you're pretty much secure with the salary, with stability, with like doing legal things, even though big company also involved in corruptions and many other things.
You cannot say that in the class, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't record, please. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will summarize that, first of all, thank you very much for coming to our class. Please keep a very, very interesting. And last question. As a Russian, why you choose Hong Kong?
Yeah, I prepare a quick slide about it. So this is my profile, like the companies I work.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and basically, so my hobby is snowboarding. I like snow, but there is no snow in Hong Kong. I like big cities, like a big apartment, but there are no big apartment in Hong Kong. I like driving, but it's crazy. I'm not driving in Hong Kong, only rental cars, because like it's crazy traffic and public transport is good and
Yep.
ownership of a car is expensive. And like I like to play golf before, but it's like 1 million Hong Kong dollars membership per
Requirement
year.
Yes.
Yeah, so like as a startup entrepreneur, you have no money for that. So why did I choose Hong Kong after that, right? So yeah, Hong Kong is an international city.
Yep.
Is a crazy city in terms of the real estate price.
Yes.
So rent or buy a flat or a car park space, it's crazy. So there are money. There are inefficiencies in the market that you can earn money on. And basically, Hong Kong is still the international hub between the West and East. So we work with international companies that operate in other companies around the world.
Yep.
So we automatically can get a global business.
Yep.
And starting in a small city, you start with the global solution because Hong Kong is small, only 7 million people, only around 700,000 cars, not a big business for the long term. But starting small city, you start to build global solution, not localized in Hong Kong. So you can already go to other market.
Yeah.
If you start in China or in mainland China or in the States, you have already huge market. You don't care about building a global solution. But then after 5 years, you're so stuck in the local market, you cannot go to another one. So this is an advantage to be in a small city. And that's pretty much all.
Yep. True. Very true. Small city, test your model quickly in Hong Kong.
Right.
Very dense, lots of population close together. Now, if we have a car park have problem, we only drive there within 30 minutes. If in the States, 3 hours, right? So very difficult to test the model. So in Hong Kong, always has an advantage of the dense population. Right. So I think that's it. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.